Hello and welcome back to my Let's Challenge of Final Fantasy XIII. In the last episode we completed missions 14 and 15 and also interacted with some cactuars whilst unlocking chocobos to be rideable. And now we're going to take on mission 16, which I believe is this one here. This is our first level Class B rank mission and it is not easy. Surrogate Slayer. My dear, sweet sister set out with her grandiose dreams of saving the chocobos, but never returned. I have sought her crystal high and low, but it is nowhere to be found. Can it be that she turned Seath? No, she will return. She must. But until she does, there is no one to defend the flock. Perhaps if I complete her focus, the fal'Cie will set her free? I will set out to the font of Namba at dawn and put an end to the Sahagins' predation. So I spent the vast majority of the last episode actually talking about how this mission is going to be very difficult. And, well, it is. It is going to be very difficult. I'm not looking forward to this one. We might lose a life here or two. So we are going to need to bolster up our Crystarium. We're probably going to actually... I might also swap up the team a bit, because... I feel like maybe a more defensive setup, so I might swap Fang for Vanille and swap Hope for Saz. Just do that way round. So rather than having haste, so we won't have haste that battle, which will be really annoying. There you can see a Cactua, one of the many that now roam the plains. But yeah, no, it's going to be interesting. We're going to see how we go. So we'll just take our chocobo all the way back to the font of Namva. Okay, so apologies that we got cut off at the end of the last episode, but I think I did warn us about it before it did happen, so there we go, just running out of space on my phone. So anyway, we will continue forth down this path as we have before. So yeah, Sahagin, Keratosaurs, Keratoraptors, going to be a pain in the butt, I think, to actually complete this mission. But let's see how we fare. We still need to defeat this Diaflan at some point. I think now is actually as decent a time as ever to actually do it. Just because it will give us the chance to sort of well, it doesn't really do anything, but there we go. So we have all of the status elements, and now we can just destroy this guy with our elemental spells. Lovely, down he goes. Okay, so we came from that direction, so we need to head this direction. I believe there is another cutscene before we actually do the battle, so we'll just bear that in mind and actually look at our Crystarium beforehand. So, Faraga is going to be helpful. It is super effective against virtually everything. I say super effective, it is, you know, it is effective against everything in this group. There is no way of us actually getting access to Protect or Shell, which kind of sucks. So at the moment it's just roll levels and further moves that we actually can sort of concentrate towards. So, anyway. We'll now turn to Snow. Sentinel, we've got the ATB slot, awesome. Commando. Is there anything to actually look forward to? We can get to Ruinga. Which is actually... obviously we're not going to reach it, but worth chasing after a little bit. And then Vanille. Vanille, it would be interesting if we can get... Did we get Kuraja last time? No, we didn't. See, I'd love to get up here to Pain. Pain could actually help a lot here. I believe all of the enemies are weak to stuff like that, so we'll see. Anyway, Hope has a long way to go. We want to get to our ATB level first. By far the most important thing to get to. So that's Bravery and Faith, which are also key spells for us in this battle. Then Medic, we've got Raise. The annoying thing about Hope is that he only gets Curasa along the first run. And whether that's actually going to be good enough is well, questionable actually. Blizzaga, Thiraga. Thankfully, we already have Thundaga, which is really good. There's a Roga. Thundaga's actually the first one he gets, so that's really helpful. Because we will most likely be throwing a load of Thundagas around. So we're going to try and get to Curasa. We're going to fall short by 3 spells. We'll go into Fang. And again, ATB level is first port of call. Sentinel, we can get Vendetta, but she's not going to be a Sentinel really in this battle. Sab is what we need. Daysgar. And then Jinx. We're heading towards Deprotect actually, which is really good. Because by this point, by the time that you get Deprotect and stuff, Fang becomes a very, a very good we'll just ignore lightning for the moment. Battle team, so. I think that's going to be how we're going to have to do this. We're going to start off in Sab, Sen, Med. No, Sab, Sen, Sin. Obviously, premeditation we start off with. We have Relentless Assault. Although what we actually want is sort of more aggression. We're going to want Delta Attack, Premeditation. We're going to want... We might as well have the variation on Delta Attack. There's no reason not to, in many ways. We're going to want... Com, Rav, Med, and we're going to want Com, Sen, Med. So, we have 1 Saboteur spell. That's not great, actually. We can have Matador as well as Delta Attack. Aggression is for killing. Delta Attack is for... Do we want... Delta Attack's for killing in between. Matador... do I actually really want... The question is whether I want Fang to actually take any damage as Sentinel, or whether we just want to keep Snow as Sentinel, because that could be... It's a legitimate... I think that's actually going to be better for us. Equipment... we do want to remove everything from anyone who has anything that we don't need. Okay, so Fang. We obviously want a bangle of some sort, undoubtedly the mithril one, and we want a... I think we actually want to take that off. Because Fang's going to be doing the most damage, pretty much, so we want Brawler's Wristband on you, we want resist physical. So where's resist physical damage? Resist physical by 10%, there we go. For you, we're going to want a Platinum Bangle, a Shaman's Mark, and also, a Sorcerer's Mark, and a Resist Physical as well. Okay, so let's see how this goes. It's going to be interesting. We're going to be spamming Painga a lot of Slowga as well. Going to try and slow these guys down. I think the slower we can get them, well, obviously the easier it will be, but also the more bearable it will be. So, let's see how this goes. Those are the battles that we've already done. That is the battle that we need to worry about. So, as you can see, Karatoraptors and some Sahagin. In we go! Okay, so we got Slowgar, essentially. So unfortunately, I have actually been hit by slow, which really sucks. So now you see what's going to happen. So we're going to get a lot of... we're going to see if we can't land another set of pain on people. I think diversity was the wrong one to go to there. Definitely the wrong one to go to. We definitely want to attack the Sahagins first. I think the Sahagins we can take care of. So with Protect, we're actually, we're not taking nearly as much damage, which is really good. That is why Thundaga is so good in this level, because we can use it just to destroy the vast majority of these enemies. Thundaga, Faraga, all really good. So the Sahagins are going to go down, thankfully. And then it will just be about taking care of the Raptors, I think. That was a bad mistake. I think we should have concentrated on healing him there, Hope, unfortunately. So we get a stagger, that's really good, okay. I am actually very close to dying. Hope, what were you doing? Oh, that's the most annoying death so far, I think, because that's the one where I'm the one who's died. Not like the whole team has died, I'm the one who's died, and that's not my fault, that's sort of almost Hope's fault in many ways. I think we want to do that, because diversity is not helping us, but attrition will. So we lose a life. I believe that is down to 6 in total, which isn't too bad, really. It's the first life that we've lost in a while, actually, as well, so certainly could be worse. So we'll cast Slow twice, and then we'll cast Painga twice. want to find these Sahagin and just start. Can I get some healing, please? Thank you. So yeah, so this is the problem. Snow essentially gets stuck sort of trying to challenge all the time. And he can't actually control the situation as you'd want your Sentinel to. But I think what wasn't helping was the fact that I was changing into paradigms where he wasn't a Sentinel. And that essentially means he loses all of that effectiveness that he was having. So, wonderful. We take care of the Karato. Why would you use Water Guard? Surely they heal that, don't they? Yeah, they absorb it. I suppose he doesn't know. Well, now you know. I'm going to keep blitzing, just because it's far more effective against these guys. So you can see that these guys, I mean, they take a lot of health, is the thing. Our debuffs have likely worn off, which is why but to be fair, I mean, we should still be able to clear these guys out before their staggers end and stuff like that, so... There we go, lovely. So as long as Hope keeps healing Snow up, I think we've got this one. I think that this should be it. Unfortunately, the one Karata Raptor we keep on targeting is actually the one that sort of ends up walking away. But Snow's got all of these guys occupied. And as long as we have... as long as we have in Thunder... Oh, shoot, that's bad. Well done, Hope. Like, that's the other problem, is that you've also got enemies, all physical enemies that can cast Deprotect, and Deprotect obviously greatly increases these enemies' ability to hurt you. Still, we are being pretty successful with how well we're sort of taking down these guys. Health. Could have definitely blitzed there. So there's an illustration of if you're the character who's controlled and you're the guy and you're in the air and you change paradigm, you don't get that little animation of you don't get the animation of everyone sort of changing their, or of you at least, even just you changing your role. So that just allows you to speed all these battles up slightly. Okay, so it's looking very good right now. So we have lost in Thunder now. We could go back to premeditation if we wanted to, and have Hope just very quickly give us some in Thunder. Oh, he only does it because the yeah, he was only giving us deeper. Sorry, in Thunder, because the Sahagins, I think in the Sahagins information it says that they are extremely weak to electric, so yeah. Anyway, we are going to complete this battle, thankfully. That goes to show you what good preparation does. It allows that battle to be completed nice and simple. We get 3 stars, which isn't actually that bad for a relatively slow battle. We get a Rhodochrosite. We defeat the Sahagin. Ah, very glad to get that done. So, we haven't been talking about sort of etymology and stuff for a while, so we'll go into that a little bit now. The Sahagin comes from Sahwagin, or it just has a U in it, Sahwagin. They're fish-like, monstrous humanoids that appear in Dungeons and Dragons, so that's where that comes from. Obviously, we also have the Orobon, which I'm trying to find here as we're going to make our way over. I think now we have to do the Waystone, which is actually outside where we actually are heading next. I think that's our next target area. So... we can quite easily dodge around the dire flan there. I'm very happy that we got that mission done, because that was one of the ones I was worried about. But we did it very nicely, setting up. And it does sort of just show, you know, that the flexibility that you just have available to you within this game, you know, the ability to change between the sort of the setups you have. It all works really, really well. So that was mission 16, I believe. We're going to try and do mission 17 by the end of this episode. Oops, wrong way. Anything around here for us to dig up? So the way the digging mechanics work again, so like I said, there are 5 spots that you can dig at every time you enter and exit this large, the large Archil Steppe area. So if I was to head off to the Ashes Massif, I think it would stop and all that sort of stuff. You get a special item for 1, 5, 10, 20, 1, 5, 10, 15, 20 digs, I think. So obviously your first special item is the gold nugget that we got right at the start. And then you have random items which are like the sort of... they're usually items that you can sell for quite a lot. Dusklight Dew, I think, is one of those. Stuff like this. But also the stones, the minerals that allow you to upgrade your weapons as well. You can find some of them around. And there is a trophy, according with this. It's called Ghazal Wreath, I believe, is the name of the mission. And essentially, it involves us. We have to dig up 20 things, and the 20th item you get is a ribbon. So once we get the ribbon, we would get another trophy. Anyways, this is the next one: Widow's Wrath, Pulsework Champion. Pulsework Champion that had been working the Mahabara Subterra has gone haywire and is now raising chaos on the Steppe's northern high plain. It is my focus to see the automaton deactivated, a duty which I undertake not only at the Falsi's behest, but for my husband, whom the accursed machine butchered. By all that is sacred, I will not rest until I have torn it washer from bolt. So. going back a little bit to the etymology stuff, an Orobon, so obviously we saw Orobon with the Sahagin. An Orobon is a sea monster, which is the body of a scaly fish and the head of a monk, which is rather interesting. And then obviously we want to find the... Whoops. Come on. So we'll just check the map here. Yep, so it's just pretty much ahead of us. So the Postwalk champion, he can be quite tough. There he is. He is relatively simple to get. I believe, if I remember correctly, he should be relatively simple for us to get a preemptive on, hopefully. We'll see. Okay, so Karataraptor, Keratosaurs. It's a portmanteau of... the Karataraptor is... So a Keratosaur is a common name for many dinosaurs of a sort of an order. So it just comes... It's like a general dinosaur sort of genus or something like that. And then Karataraptor is just taking that and then stuffing raptor on the end. So that's where that etymology comes from. Do we want to keep with this team? I don't think... I think we can. I think we're definitely going to want a Sentinel involved with this one. I don't think we necessarily need attrition, though. I think we'd rather have Smart Bomb. So we're going to try with this team just because why not? You know, we created this team, we might as well try and use it. What I never understand is where this guy's face is. I'm guessing it's there. Obviously, following on from like the Pulsework soldiers and the Pulsework everything else that we've seen, the champion is just an even better version of those guys. Come on. So many enemies do that, sort of approach the edge of their area and then we'll just turn around. Otherwise, I guess preemptives would be really easy. So, this is a B rank mission, we shouldn't take this for granted. Obviously, sort of enemy that we've seen many times before. Okay, that does a lot of damage. So we're going to get Shell up, because he does powerful magical attacks. We'll see what else he's weak to once we get these debuffs on. If we can. So there's one of them. Jesus. Okay, so he's blocking, he's immune to virtually all magic, which is rather interesting. We'll see what out of Curse, Slow, Fog, Pain, Curse, Daze he's immune to, if any of it. Are you immune to it? So he's immune to Pain, Fog, and Curse, but he is susceptible. So once staggered, as you can see, he is taking... Yeah, he dies. Okay. So that wasn't too bad, actually. Not bad at all. We might actually be getting towards the point where actually we do want to be thinking about changing our team up from the usual Saz, Snow, Vanille. Saz, Snow, Vanille is very good at the start of this chapter, but eventually other teams will just sort of pick up from where they left off and become, you know, better versions of them. So, that gives us our Waystone down there. We do not want to do that one. That one's one of the hardest missions in the game, if I remember correct. If I remember it as the right one. Is there any other sea stones that can be seen? I don't think so. So that was mission 17. So I wonder where was mission 18? So I think what we need to do now is that we have now done everything. We have now done everything that we wanted to do at the start of this, from the start to this point, we've done everything we need to. And now our next trial is pretty much taking forward with the story. So for once we will actually be able to continue on with the story, which is pretty awesome. So before that, we will do this battle, and then we'll go down and we'll try and take on the... I suppose the other thing is that now that virtually everyone has... now that everyone virtually has 5 ATB slots, the fact that we're on slow and stuff doesn't nearly seem as much of a trouble. As it did like before. So that's good to know. So as you can see, Snow is, so I hope he's using Veil. We might want to swap to controlling Hope relatively soon. I have always said that I either want to be controlling I either want to be controlling my my Saboteur or my Synergist, one of the two. So we'll find out which one. Am I on slow? It feels really fast. I'm on slow. Good. I was getting a bit worried there. I'd randomly been cheating this entire episode. Anyway, so map. So we just want to head down towards the natural path. And then once we get down here, we will enter the next area, which is the Mahabara Subterra, so the mines, essentially. But before we battle that, we have a rather important battle down here, where we have to face off with the Behemoth King and the Magistetherian, having a solid scrap. So obviously they won't attack me, which is really good. We do not want aggression, we want relentless assault. We do want smart bomb. We have everything else just in case things go wrong, pretty much. We might want some decimation in there as well. So we'll lead smart bomb. So naturally, with the sort of these two battle ones, we want to take out the most scary enemy first, and most certainly of these two, it is not the Magistetherian. Why am I targeting him? I want to target... Damn. Shit. We definitely want to target the Behemoth King first, essentially. The Behemoth King has the ability to stand on hind legs, has the ability to just be an absolute beast, and will, be a huge problem if we allow it. So we won't. We'll take care of him very, very quickly. And then the Magistetherian should be pretty easy from then on. There we go. So because you essentially get an auto, that's 45 seconds I did that battle in, and I netted, 6,600 CP? So this is a great spot for CP grinding, and remains a great spot for CP grinding throughout the game. But what we'll do is we'll go through here. I think there's a little cutscene, and then we'll call this episode to an end.
There's a way through here.
That little cutscene there is to show that we will be leaving the Archilde Steppe and heading over into the new area, which, as I said earlier, is the Mahabara Subterra. So here we are, the Mahabara Subterra, and this is where we're going to call this episode to an end. I hope you have enjoyed this episode. We have suffered one more loss of life, but aside from that, it's been a pretty good episode, and we've been doing really nicely. We've been making really nice progress. So I hope you have enjoyed this episode. I hope you will join me on the next episode, where we will be continuing on along the main path, along the story route. Who'd have thunk that we'd actually get to this point? So, hope you have enjoyed this episode, and I hope you will join me on the next.